All right, so you think Dallas is just cowboy hats, chain restaurants, and a giant airport. Yeah, that's cute, but it's not really like that at all, guys. You're about to find out why this city is quietly flexing harder than anywhere else in Texas. Listen, from the backyard taco joints that slap harder than your grandma's slipper to the wild rooftop cinemas, indoor water parks, hidden wine bars, and local gyms most tourists will never hear about. This is the ultimate list, 50 legit things to do in Dallas that'll make you rethink everything you thought you knew about the place. Listen, some are gonna be weird, some are gonna be iconic, and then some of them are gonna be straight up bucket list material, right? So I want you guys to stay tuned. Today, we're really gonna prove that Dallas is way deeper than boots and brisket. But before we dive into the hidden gems and the local stuff nobody talks about, we've really gotta give props where they're due, right? The classics, the heavyweights, the spots that everybody has to hit at least one time when you're in the DFW. Even if you've lived here for years, these places still hit different when you do them the right way. So let's start with the ones that definitely define this city, the Dallas icons. All right, so why not kick it off with the park that literally floats over the freeway, right? Clyde Warren Park is Dallas's front lawn. It's gonna be a green space built on top of the sunken highway that somehow turned into a place where the entire city meets up. There's gonna be food trucks over there. They have yoga classes on the regulars, concerts, splash pads. They have book carts, first dates, and toddlers doing parkour off of picnic tables. It's the kind of spot where you grab a taco, sit under the skyline, and low-key wonder why more cities haven't figured this out quite yet. And then on Sundays, guys, it's basically Dallas Coachella, but for dogs and strollers. Now, moving just a few blocks away is the AT&T Discovery District, and this place looks like someone let a tech startup design a public park, right? You've got the massive LED walls playing art installations, a 30-foot globe that lights up at night, and open-air food hall vibes, and even a robot dog if you hang around long enough. It's gonna be great for a date, or even better for a group selfie, and hands down one of the most photogenic spots in downtown. By the way, if this is your first time to the channel, I'm Mark with the Dallas Relocation Guide, and we help people buy, sell, and relocate right here to the Dallas Metroplex. Listen, no one is bringing you the type of videos that we do to really get you engaged, get you intrigued, and also get you moved down to Dallas. So if you're thinking about making a move, feel free, reach out. All of our contact info is down in the description below and pinned to the top of the chat. Now, next up, this isn't your middle school science museum, right? The Perot Museum is 5 floors of dinosaur skeletons, earthquake simulators, tornado tunnels, and exhibits that'll have grown adults pushing kids out of the way so they can try it next. The building itself looks like a glass box crashing into a cliff, and inside, it's just nonstop curiosity overload. Listen, whether you're 6 or 60, you're gonna walk out smarter, or at least feeling like you are. Now look, guys, you've seen the ball. It's not a spaceship over here. It's not a disco globe. It's Reunion Tower. And this is gonna be the iconic crown of the Dallas skyline, right? You take an elevator all the way to the top and boom, full panoramic views of the entire Metroplex, right? So here's a pro tip. I want you to hit it right before sunset so you can catch the golden hour and all the city lights. And we used to feel like James Bond sipping a martini in the sky because they had a revolving restaurant in there. There's still a restaurant, but the floors just aren't moving anymore. And finally, let's talk about the Dallas Arts District. This is gonna be the largest urban arts district in the United States. And yeah, not just in Texas, right? It's gonna be walkable. It's packed with galleries, theaters, public installations, and the kind of architecture that makes you stop mid-scroll just to stare. Even if you're not an art person, this place will hit you with some unexpected feels, right? One minute you're watching ballerinas through a window, the next minute you're watching someone play jazz on a sidewalk. Yeah, welcome to Dallas. So these are gonna be those big ones, the icons. But here's the thing, Dallas isn't just a flashy skyline views and LED covered plazas. The next set, it's all about what happens when the weekend hits and the kids are bouncing off the walls. Or you just want something fun to do that doesn't involve a reservation. Let's get into family-friendly Dallas, and trust me, we're starting with one that includes giraffes, splash zones, and a water slide that'll test your spine. These are gonna be those family plus kid-friendly things to do down in Dallas. So yeah, let's talk about the stuff that's gonna wear your kids out in the best possible way, right? So whether you're chasing toddlers, rolling with your teens, or you're just a grown adult with a deep love for dinosaurs and splash pads, the Dallas Zoo is gonna be the thing that's got you covered, right? It's literally one of the largest and one of the oldest, but don't let the old fool you, right? This place is elite, guys. We're talking 2,000 plus animals, monorails, and a full savannah setup, and a giraffe feeding deck where you can hand them lettuce like you're the main character in a Disney movie. There's gonna be a splash zone, interactive exhibits, and enough snack stands to keep even the hangriest child from losing it. And if you hit it on their dollar days, that's really a game changer, guys. Now, this one's gonna be a 2-for-1 type of deal, right? You've got the stunning Dallas Arboretum, 66 acres of lakeside flowers, gardens, and those tree tunnels you always see in the family photos. But the secret weapon is gonna be the children's adventure garden inside. Look, it's basically science class disguised as a giant playground. There's gonna be interactive water features, a rope bridge over a mini forest, and exhibits that explain gravity, photosynthesis, and bugs without anyone really realizing they're learning. The best part about it all is it's one of the few spots in Dallas where both parents and kids actually are having fun at the same time. All right, so for this one, if you've got little ones and you're free in the afternoon, the Crayola experience in Plano is like walking into a Technicolor sugar rush, right? They've got 20+ hands-on stations where kids can melt crowns into shapes, animate their own drawings on a giant screen, and literally make custom Crayola with their name on it. It's gonna be a little sensory overload in the best type of way, right? It's gonna be bright, interactive, and air conditioned. But look, just be warned, they're gonna be leaving with a bag of glitter and ideas. Now look, I want you to imagine an indoor water park, right? Now imagine it has a retractable roof, a lazy river, 10 slides, a surfing simulator, and cabanas with food service. Yeah, Epic Waters isn't just good for kids, it's good for all ages when the summer comes around. Was it raining? Is it cold? Is the Texas heat too hot? It doesn't matter. This place is running year round. Look, if you've got those high energy kids who need to burn it off and you'd like to do it with AC and snacks, then this is gonna be your spot. And for real, that boogie board simulator, surprisingly competitive. Trust me, I know, because me and my boys, we kind of go at it a little bit. Don't judge me. All right, now this one is gonna be really, really wild. Kidzania is a miniature city run by kids, guys. Like full-on jobs, uniforms, banks, airplanes, and 5 departments. Your kids can be chefs, pilots, veterinarians, or DJs if they like. They can earn fake money, they manage tasks, they work together. It's like role play on steroids, but somehow educational. It's hands down one of the most unique experiences in DFW, and for your parents, there's a lounge upstairs with Wi-Fi, coffee, and full permission to chill. Go ahead. You've earned it. Look, so now that the kids are happy, worn out, and hopefully asleep, let's talk about the things that you could do when you just want it to be you and your boo. I mean, if you want skyline views, check, they got that. You want the vibey patios? Covered, they got that too. Unexpected date night ideas that don't involve just dinner and a movie? Yeah, we're gonna touch on those right now. So let's start with a restaurant that's literally 49 floors in the air. Look, so the kids are down, the babysitter's booked, and you've got one goal. No boring date nights, right? This is Dallas, right? And trust me, we know how to set the mood. Whether it's the skyline and steaks or dive bars and the backyard vibes, right? Here are some of the best spots to turn just a night out into something worth remembering. So let's start with the top of the list, and literally Monarch sits on the 49th floor of the National Building in downtown Dallas, and if you're trying to impress someone, this is the place you go. The lighting is gonna be super moody, the views are ridiculous, and the food, I want you to think handmade pastas, Wagyu steaks, and a wine list that says, I know what I'm doing, even if you totally don't. Here's a pro tip, right? Time your reservation for the sunset. The golden light plus the skyline plus some great food and drinks, you just can't miss. Now, if you're looking for the complete opposite vibe and still a win, well then the truck yard is where you go when you want zero pressure and all the fun. It's basically like a backyard party with food trucks, string lights, Airstream bars, and live music on most nights, guys. You can grab a Philly cheesesteak, sit under the tree with a frozen cocktail, and boom, you have date night, but with a little bit more weird and wonderful vibes to it. And then bonus points, guys, you can catch one of their funky theme nights, right? I once saw a guy dressed as a cowboy astronaut. I'm still not sure what that was for, but that's what happened at the place. Now, this next one is gonna be a total cheat code, right? The Rooftop Cinema Club gives you a skyline backdrop and a movie night, but elevated. Literally, they play cult classics and new releases. You get headphones for your personal audio, and the seating is gonna be those comfy chairs you never wanna leave from. If you add in a cocktail, a blanket, and somebody that you really like a lot, that's a top tier type of night that you're gonna be into. It's gonna be romantic without trying too hard and way cooler than Netflix and takeout, right? Now, if you wanna switch for something a little bit more cozy and an intimate dinner that feels like a secret, then Lucia is your spot, right? It's tucked into a tiny building in Bishop Arts, and getting a reservation is really half the challenge. But look, once you're in, handmade pastas, candlelit tables, and a staff that treats you like you're in something special. It's gonna be perfect for anniversaries, celebrations, or just when you wanna feel like you escaped Dallas without leaving Oak Cliff. And that's gonna be a speakeasy called Parliament, where cocktails are the whole dang performance, guys. Look, it's got that moody speakeasy feel to it. Think leather booths, dim lights, and bartenders who take their craft seriously, right? Listen, order a classic or just go off script and tell them what flavors you really like. You know, me, myself, I always get the smoky old fashioned, and that thing is on fire. Literally. Listen, they'll whip you up something custom and dramatic if you ask for it, and if it's raining, it's even better, right? The place was built for rainy night energy. So now that we've done the fine dining, the rooftop dates, and the frozen cocktails and candlelight vibes, but what about the spots that locals don't always talk about? The places you don't find on the brochures? The kind of hangouts where drinks are cheap, the crowds are chill, and the stories basically write themselves. These are gonna be those spots you don't find on the travel blogs or Instagram guides, right? These are the places that make you feel like you're officially earned your Dallas stripes. So let's get into the hidden gems, the weird, the wild, and the low-key legendary. All right, so let me hit you with a little bit of chaos. 150 plus arcade games, unlimited free play, and 30 taps of cider, all under one roof. And yes, I want to welcome you to Cicadia, aka the grown-up Chuck E. Cheese that we didn't know we needed. Listen, you pay a flat fee at the door, grab a pint, and then proceed to lose all your dignity in a four-way Pac-Man battle. They've got pinball, shooters, racers, old school NBA Jam. It's nostalgia overload with a buzz. It's gonna be perfect for a date night, a group hangout, or just unleashing your inner 12-year-old with an adult beverage. All right, now this next one has layers, right? Wild Detectives is a bookstore, but also a bar, but also a coffee shop as well. But also sometimes a poetry night. Yeah, just don't get me started. It's so many different things. It's got the cozy couches, the outdoor picnic tables, and just enough quirk to make you feel like you accidentally stepped into someone's curated dream journal. Look, grab a glass of wine, flip through some books, and if you're lucky, catch live music in the back. It's quiet in the best way possible, but with just enough edge to feel like you're part of something special. All right, so let's be real. Sometimes you just need a laugh, though. So the Dallas Comedy Club is one of those places that surprises you in the best way, right? It's got improv, stand-up, open mic nights, and some absolute killers who are on Netflix specials or who are just one joke away from blowing up. Look, the vibe is really low pressure, high energy, and super local, right? Get there early, grab a drink, and sit up front if you're feeling brave, or sit in the back and watch other people get roasted. It's a win-win in my book. All right, so tucked just south of downtown is gonna be Four Corners Brewing Company, a chill, dog-friendly, Latin-inspired brewery with serious neighborhood pride, right? You're gonna see the murals, the food trucks, backyard-style hangouts, and a tap wall that'll make you question every beer decision you've ever made. I want you to try the El Chigon IPA, right? Even if you don't speak Spanish, you'll understand the name after a pint or two. Listen, they host festivals, pop-up markets, and even low-key concerts on the weekends. It's the kind of place you go for just one and somehow ended up staying for 3 hours. All right, so here's the last one in this round, and it's gonna be a gem, right? The Kessler is an old-school, intimate concert venue that feels more like a living room with a sound system than a stage. The acts range from indie legends to local singer-songwriters, and every show feels like a moment. If you're tired of the huge arenas and just want to vibe with real music in a setting where every seat is a good seat, this is gonna be it, right? Plus, Oak Cliff at night is really, really underrated. So now let's switch it up just a little bit. Let's step outside for a second, take a breather, feel the breeze, and maybe even break a sweat or two. At least we can pretend we did if we're not really about that life. So let's switch gears and talk about outdoor and active Dallas. You know, the trails, parks, paddle boards, and the best place to people watch in your cutest gym clothes. Listen, Dallas may not scream outdoor city at first glance. I get it, right? Big buildings, highways, high-end shopping. But let me tell you something. When you know where to look, Dallas delivers on some seriously underrated outdoor vibes. Look, whether you're in your run 3 miles and post it on Strava era, or just looking for a quiet trail to sip some coffee and dodge responsibilities for a little bit, this section is gonna be for you. All right, so let's start with the Katy Trail, the city's unofficial runway. This is gonna be a 3.5-mile paved trail that cuts through Uptown, Oaklawn, and into SMU zone. You'll see joggers, bikers, rollerbladers, moms with strollers, and golden retrievers living their best lives. But look, let's just be real, right? Some people are there just to get seen, and that's totally okay too. You're gonna see somebody snapping a picture or two, posting it on Instagram, and you might even be in somebody's TikTok. And then when you're done with all that, you can hit Katy Trail Ice House, mid-walk, grab a margarita, and boom, you're doing fitness and happy hour all at the same time. It's all about balance, baby. It's all about balance. Now, when you want to get a little bit of fresh air, maybe some water vibes, this is where Dallas goes when it needs that breath, right? White Rock Lake is a peaceful, massive, and low-key one of the best city lakes in the country, guys. There's going to be a 9-mile loop trail that goes around the lake, picnic spots, fishing piers, kayaking launches, and wide open water views with 0 skyscrapers in sight. It's gonna be serene, like suspiciously serene to be in Dallas. It's perfect for sunrise walks, paddleboard Sundays, or just sitting on a bench like you're in a rom-com waiting for something poetic to happen. All right, now this next one feels like you're teleported straight out of the city, right? The Trinity River Audubon Center sits inside one of the largest urban hardwood forests in the United States. Yeah, and it's in Dallas. It's gonna be a nature preserve with legit hiking trails, wetlands, bird watching zones, and eco exhibits, right? And you'll barely see another soul out there when you go. It's like a reset button with trees. And if you ever wanted to just disappear into the woods without giving up cell service, this is the place you go. All right, so this one is gonna be your quiet, peaceful storybook spot, right? Lakeside Park is tucked away in Highland Park and feels like a really well-kept secret, right? It's lush, it's super walkable. Honestly, it looks like it was built for Instagram, quite frankly. You've got the stone bridges, a slow-moving creek, and these randomly giant teddy bear statues that make no sense but somehow totally fit the vibe. Look, this is where you go when you want to feel like you're in a Nancy Meyers movie. Peaceful, pretty, and prime for a picnic date. Yeah, say that 5 times fast. Now, if you want to feel like you just left town without leaving town, head to Cedar Ridge Preserve, guys. It's one of the only places near Dallas where you get actual elevation change. It's hilly, it's green, way more Texas hill country than North Texas suburbs, right? You got the 9 miles of trails, butterfly gardens, flowers, and scenic overlooks that have you saying things like, wait, this is Dallas? Bring water, bring bug spray, bring your own alter ego persona, you're gonna need it. But look, let's trade the nature for a little culture, right? From world-class museums to immersive art experiences and street murals that really tell the story that's gonna be louder than words. Dallas just doesn't show up, guys, it shows out. Now let's talk about the culture and all the art fixes. And trust me, one of these will blow your mind even if you hated art class growing up. All right, so you've seen the skyline, you've hit the trails, you've fed giraffes, and maybe lost a boogie board challenge or tour at epic waters. But now it's time to flex the fact that Dallas isn't just big, it's creative. Like really weird in a good way creative. This city really knows how to blend history, storytelling, and straight up visual magic into spaces that feel more like experiences than exhibits. So we'll start strong with the Dallas Museum of Art, and as locals say, the DMA. Look, here's the kicker, guys. It's free, $0, all vibes. It's one of the largest art museums in the country with over 25,000 pieces from around the world. We're talking about Monet, Pollock, Basquiat, Egyptian relics, sculptures, and that one giant painting you pretend to understand while slowly backing up from the perfect pick. And if you hit it on a late night, there's live music, food trucks, and pop-up exhibits, right? It's like a culture festival inside of a museum. And if you go right across the street from there in the National Sculpture Center, and this place is seriously slept on. Artists like Picasso, Codler, and Rodin, all nestled in a peaceful garden that makes you forget you're in downtown. It's classy, it's quiet, it's a great, I'm cultured, but also low-key romantic kind of date night move. But look, you didn't hear that from me though. The 6th floor museum is inside the former Texas School Book Depository. Yeah, that building, and it tells the full story of the JFK assassination. We ain't gotta go into details about that. You're gonna get the historical context, the rare footage, artifacts, and a real look at how that one moment changed the entire country. Even if you're not a history buff, this one sticks with you guys. All right, so let's loosen this thing back up with some good deep element energy, guys. This neighborhood is a living, breathing art gallery, and the murals are iconic. Every single corner, alley, and wall is splashed with colors, expression, and attitude. You're gonna get the massive music legends, trippy dreamscapes, and even a robot unicorn or two, and that's not a joke. You can grab a coffee from Merit or a cold one from Deep Ellum Brewing and just wander around. You're gonna stumble into photo ops, pop-up vendors, and probably live music happening on a random Tuesday afternoon. This is gonna be Dallas with its sleeves rolled up, raw, loud, and creative as hell. Meow Wolf is part art museum, part sci-fi funhouse, part what did I just even walk into? It's gonna be a multi-sensory, hyper-immersive, and it'll 100% break your brain a little bit. You're gonna walk through portals, crawl inside glowing caves, open washing machines that lead to other dimensions. It's like stepping inside of a dream built by brilliant weirdos. It's gonna be perfect for a date, a group hangout, or anyone who wants to feel like they just took an art bath in another universe. And yeah, it's in Grapevine because, of course, it's in Grapevine. So after all that visual stimulation, maybe it's time to stimulate that wallet a little bit. So next up, we're gonna talk about the shopping and all the markets where Dallas puts its full style on display. From luxury fashion houses to indie street markets with handmade candles and hot sauce you didn't even know you needed. Let's talk about where the city shops at, guys. Listen, whether you're on the hunt for designer threads, quirky local finds, or just an excuse to walk around sipping overpriced coffee while browsing, Dallas definitely delivers. Listen, this city treats shopping like a sport. And the vibe, right? Equal parts high fashion, high taste, and oh dang, I didn't know I needed a candle that smells like tequila and ambition. So let's break down a few spots where Dallas brings the heat and the haul. So look, if malls had leagues, North Park would be in the majors, right? We're talking Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Versace, Neiman Marcus, right next to Zara, Apple, and the Lego store that has no business going that hard. But here's the twist. There's an actual art museum inside of here, like real Warhols, real sculptures. It's part shopping, part culture experience. And yes, that's intentional. And check it, even if you're not buying anything, this is people watching paradise. Now, as we swing to the opposite end of the spectrum, but with so much more flavor, Bishop Arch is where Dallas gets that indie, quirky, and beautifully weird stuff going. You're gonna find the vintage shops, handmade jewelry, niche bookstores, you're gonna get the craft coffee, and boutiques run by the locals who actually remember your name. It's gonna be colorful, walkable, and filled with stuff you won't find in a chain store. Listen, you can pick up a vinyl record, a funky houseplant, and a bar of soap that smells like campfire and revolution. It's really that kind of energy. Now, if you're looking for your bougie bougie side, this is Dallas at its designer peak, right? Highland Park Village is America's first outdoor shopping center, and it's basically Rodeo Drive with major Southern manners. We're talking about Chanel, Hermes, Cartier, and a valet who might be dressed better than you are. It's gonna be bougie, beautiful, and feels like walking through a glossy magazine ad. Now, if you're out in the northern burbs, Legacy West is gonna be your scene, right? It's sleek, it's modern, and full of live, work, play energy. Look, you're gonna get the boutiques, rooftop restaurants, pop-up events, and people walking tiny dogs in sunglasses. I meant the people, not the dogs. Seriously, this place feels like a movie set. Make a day of it, shop a little, grab brunch at 60 Vines, then slide into a patio chair with a full glass of wine like it's your full-time job. And now the ultimate weekend flex, the Dallas Farmers Market, guys. This is gonna be half local produce and artisan goods, half food hall with global flavors and all of the vibes. Look, one side is packed with vendors selling everything from handmade soaps to spicy honey, while the other is full of food stands slinging birria tacos, pho, pastries, and ice cream that should probably be illegal. I want you to come to this place hungry and leave inspired. Or at least just leave with 3 jars of jam and a new cutting board you absolutely didn't need. Listen, you can shop the designer racks, hit the local booths, and maybe accidentally drop $40 on a candle that smells like confidence with no regrets. But to get the picture even better, let's zoom out a little bit. Right? What if you want to get out of Dallas for a day without going full-on road trip mode? Because sometimes the best way to love a city is to leave it just for a minute. All right, so let's say you've done Dallas, you've eaten, explored, maybe dropped some coin at the North Park Mall and burnt it all off at Katy Trail. Now you're thinking, okay, but what's outside of the city? And here's where the move's gonna be in these micro adventures, these day trips, or the weekend getaways. These are gonna be those quick escapes that give you a change of pace without needing to pack a passport or sit in I-35 traffic for 7 freaking hours. So let's dive into the best day trip worthy gems within a couple hours of Big D. So first up is of course gonna be the Fort Worth Stockyards. This one is gonna be the closest thing to time travel without stepping into a DeLorean. It's gonna have cowboy hats, longhorn cattle parades, brick roads, saloons, live country music, and legit Texas barbecue, all in the same place. And listen, they do cattle drives twice a day, and yes, you'll wanna get a pic because it's like stepping into a Western movie set that also serves cold beer. Add in, you can stop over at Billy Bob's Texas, the world's largest honky tonk, and you've officially earned your boots. Now, just 30 minutes from Dallas, Grapevine is pure small town charm with a big taste, right? You got the wine tasting rooms, like a lot of them. You're gonna get the boutique shops, local bakeries, and the kind of cobblestone streets that makes you wanna hold hands and say things like, hey, should we move here? It's also home to the Vintage Railroad and could put on a holiday festival that'll make a Hallmark exec cry. This is a place that you come in December and you'll see exactly what I mean. It's basically Christmas on overload. Now, if you're a fan of HGTV like me, one of the places you can definitely go and check out is gonna be the Magnolia Silos down in Waco. But listen, there's more to this spot than an Instagram-worthy shiplap, right? Magnolia Market is a crown jewel. It's gonna be part home decor, part food truck plaza, part wait, why is this sandwich so doggone good? It's definitely something that you should go and experience because they are booming down there, guys. And then once you're done channeling your inner HGTV personality, you can hit the Balcones Distillery or take a walk along the Brazos Riverwalk. It's a little more than an hour from Dallas, but the vibes are mellow and the photo game is really unstoppable. All right, so if you want to take the time to impress the kids and your inner child, I want you to head to Fossil Rim over in Glen Rose. This is going to be an 1,800-acre drive-through safari where animals literally walk up to your car. We're talking about zebras, giraffes, emus, ostriches, and maybe a goat or two trying to get into the passenger seat. This is going to be wild, it's educational, and it's surprisingly peaceful once you get past the oh my god, it's a giraffe. And Glen Rose also has some great hiking and dinosaur fossil tracks if you're into that kind of thing. Now, the last one in this section is going to be Lake Texoma. It's one of the largest reservoirs in the US, right? And this is going to be straddling the Texas-Oklahoma border, and it's the go-to for weekend lake escapes, right? You can rent a cabin up there, you can bring your boat, or just lounge on the beach and pretend you're way farther from home than you actually are. There's gonna be fishing, hiking, jet skis, and plenty of room to spread out and unplug for a little while. It's gonna be great for friend trips, couples weekends, or those let's just get the heck out of town last minute type of getaways. Look, at this point, you guys have explored beyond the city limits, tasted some wine, high-fived a zebra or two, and probably bought a few things you didn't even need at the Magnolia Silos. But now it's time to come back to Dallas, right? Because the energy, it's about to crank all the way up. We're talking about stadiums, concerts, tailgates, fireworks, and a 55-foot cowboy named Big Tex. So let's talk about some of the big ticket events in the sports venues and the kind of stuff you plan your whole weekend around. Now look, I hope you got some rest on that lake trip because now we're turning the volume all the way up, right? This city doesn't do low key when it comes to sports and events. Because here in Dallas, it's gonna be big crowds, big screens, big stars, and the kind of weekends where you forget what day it is because it's just that much going on. Look, whether you're a diehard fan, a casual concert goer, or just here for the funnel cake and the fireworks, this section has something for you. So let's talk about the stadiums, showtimes, and the straight up spectacles. All right, so let's get the obvious one out of the way. AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys, AKA the Death Star. It's not just a football stadium, guys. It's a Texas landmark with over 80,000 plus seating capacity, a retractable roof, art installations, and a jumbotron that's literally bigger than your apartment. You don't even have to be a Cowboys fan to enjoy this, guys, but if you move to Dallas, honestly, you accidentally become a Cowboys fan. Listen, game day here is going to be an experience, right? Tailgates that start at 9 a.m., fans dressed like it's Halloween for sports, and the energy that could power a small country. And even if it's not for football season, we still have the concert, monster truck rallies, WrestleMania. I mean, we even have the World Cup coming, guys. You name it, it goes down here. Another great venue is going to be the American Airlines Center down in Victory Park. This is where the Mavs and the Stars play. It's going to be smack dab in the heart of downtown. Listen, this arena is slick, loud, and packed with the type of energy that you want every single night. During basketball season, it's straight fire, right? During the hockey games, it's surprisingly electric, even if you've never watched one before. And let's not forget about the concerts, right? We're talking about Beyonce, Drake, Harry Styles, all the heavy hitters. And what's crazy is you can even grab dinner right across the street at Hero or Billy Can Can before the game starts and really just make a whole night out of it. All right, now back right across the street from AT&T Stadium is going to be the brand new Globe Life Field, home of the Texas Rangers. And yes, it's got air conditioning. Look, that alone right there should sell you, because the way it used to be, it was just too hot to do anything at the old park. This one also has the retractable roof. It's going to have the killer food options and a fan experience that brings big but not overwhelming. Even if you're not into baseball, the vibes are strong, the seats are comfy, and the skyline views are just extraordinary. Now look, if stadiums aren't really your thing, but you still want a live experience, you can definitely go and check out the Toyota Music Factory over in Las Colinas, right? This is going to be an amphitheater meets a lifestyle center with restaurants, bars, and a live music venue that pulls in major artists but still feels intimate. You're gonna get that energy of a big concert without all the nosebleed seats. Plus, before and after the show, you've got options, right? There's taco over there, sushi, craft beer, late night bites, all the walkability you could ever want. And look, we can't talk about Dallas without this absolute unit of a tradition, and that's gonna be the State Fair of Texas. Look, it's gonna be 24 days of fried food, neon lights, live music, piggy races, car shows, a giant Ferris wheel, and big old Tex. And that's gonna be the 55-foot cowboy that meets you at the front door. You want some fried butter? Yes, they got that. You want some fried Coke? And I'm talking about Coca-Cola, guys. There's gonna be livestock, art exhibits, nightly fireworks, and enough chaos to make you question your decision and love every second of it. It's wild, it's nostalgic, and it's the most Texas thing that you'll ever experience. So what if you're not trying to tailgate or tackle a fried peanut butter burger at the State Fair every single weekend? I mean, that's fair, right? But what about all the other moments? The seasonal pop-ups, the annual traditions, the mark your calendar kind of events that sneak up and suddenly make the whole city feel different. This is where Dallas keeps the party going all year round. Now, personally, I like all the big stadiums, the mega concerts, the sports energy that has people painting their faces and losing their voices, right? But Dallas knows how to throw a party outside these arenas as well. Listen, all year long, this city flips the switch with festivals, pop-ups, cultural celebrations, and holiday experiences that take over the entire neighborhoods. Look, these aren't just background noise, they're full of calendar moments. So let's talk about all the seasonal fun, the kind of events that make you say, wait, that's this weekend? All right, so let's start with a flavor bomb, the Taste of Addison. It's gonna be like if a food court, a music festival, and a patio party all had a baby and then gave it a margarita. This is gonna be over 50 local restaurants, food trucks, wine tastings, live music, games, and maybe a dance-off or two that you didn't mean to get pulled into. It's gonna be family-friendly by day, date night worthy at the evenings, and then the food is dangerous in the best way. Listen, just pace yourself, guys, or you'll be fooled before you make it past booth 5. Now, this next one is gonna be where all my nerds unite, and I mean that, and I say that with pure love. Listen, the Fan Expo Dallas is gonna be a Comic-Con of the South. It's gonna be cosplay panels, celebrity signings, anime pop-ups, exclusive collectibles, and some of the most passionate fandom energy you'll ever feel. You're gonna see Spider-Man hugging Baby Yoda, folks dressed as full-blown Transformers, and yes, someone probably proposing in a Jedi robe. It's chaotic, it's joyful, and it's one of the most inclusive, creative weekends in this city. All right, when winter rolls around and you're ready to crank up the holiday feels, the Vitruvian lights is the move to go. Listen, this entire park transformed into a glowing wonderland with millions of LED lights wrapped around every single tree that you could see. It's like someone hit copy and paste on Christmas. It's definitely romantic, it's gonna feel magical, it's perfect for sipping hot cocoa, snapping pics, and realizing you accidentally walked a mile without noticing because your jaw was just to the floor the whole time. Look, bring a camera, bring somebody cute, and then just thank me later. Now, this next one is gonna be a vibe you didn't even know you needed. Listen, minor league baseball, lazy river seats inside the outfield, and fireworks every single Friday night during the season. That's what's going on with the Frisco Rough Riders over at Riders Field, and it's a sleeper hit for locals who wanna have fun without the downtown chaos. Look, this stadium is smaller, the food is gonna be great, and the crowd energy feels like a neighborhood block party, right? With better lighting and just a mascot doing backflips. Listen, it's family gold, guys, date night magic, and an underrated summer flex. And now we're gonna wrap up the list with one of the prettiest things Dallas does all year, and that's gonna be the Dallas blooms, right? So over at the Dallas Arboretum, this explodes with 500,000 blooming flowers, tulips, daffodils, all types of just flowers, guys. It's like walking through a postcard. It's peaceful, it's gonna be colorful, and it hits every single time. It's perfect for a Sunday stroll, an engagement shoot, or just a moment to pretend like you're living inside of a movie. Trust me, this is how you welcome spring in style. Listen, we hit the icons, the family fun, the date night heaters, and the secret spots only locals know about, and yeah, maybe a giraffe or two. And if you didn't know Dallas had this much going on, guys, and you're still doing your research when you're thinking about moving here, we created entire playlists, guys, and you can check those out right there.